Hello.
Hello, James.
How are you?
I'm all right. Sorry,
Good.
my eyes darted around. Have you seen that new NVIDIA technology for making it look like your eyes are always looking at the lens?
Oh no.
I'm
What?
demonstrating what that would be like if we had it on, but what I'm just doing is I'm just looking at the lens. But if I had that thing switched on and I wasn't looking at the lens, I would look like I was looking at the lens. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, yes, I can.
It would be exactly like this.
Isn't that the exact opposite of what you want to be doing when you're being on camera? Don't they always say, don't look at the camera, don't look at me, don't look at the
Yeah,
camera?
it's not for films though.
Oh, is it not for films?
It's not for
Okay.
movie stars to be like looking at the camera. For streamers, so that when we have to, oh, look at that, eye contact broken, viewers drifting away, engagement returned.
Oh.
So
Oh.
it would allow you to do what I just did, but keep your. I'm struggling to do it because again we haven't got the technology. I'm just using my eyes manually to do it. It would look like that.
But I mean, you can get a pair of glasses that does that, can't you?
Yeah, but then there's a real danger of them boinging out on springs. You never know which one you're going to get when you go to a joke shop.
That's true, but that will keep people engaged if at any point your eyes could boing out on springs.
Yeah. That's welcome to the live stream.
Welcome.
At any point, and I could boing out on a spring.
Yeah, danger, beware.
I know you've got a story, James, but
Yeah.
Bethany Briggs Miller has in the chat raised a very important topical issue of the day.
Yes, yeah.
Using the phrase "blobby fiasco."
Yes, the blobasco.
Break it down, James. What's going on?
Okay, so I saw this on the BBC News website 3 hours ago.
So this is news. This is serious news. This podcast isn't about folklore anymore. It's about facts.
It is. It's about blob facts.
Yeah.
Headline: Buyer backs out of £62,000 Mr. Blobby suit purchase.
A more shocking headline. It's hard to imagine. Why wouldn't someone want to buy a really, really ratty looking Mr. Blobby suit for £62,000?
I know. I don't know. It was listed for £39, but this price rocketed.
Sorry, it was listed for £39.
Yep.
And then they bid it up.
Apparently,
wow, okay.
So.
That seems reasonable. £39. That's a bargain.
I'm quoting here from the BBC website. A house move prompted the seller to list Mr. Blobby for auction and led to a free fall of 178 bids.
So do you think anybody wanted it?
No, I don't think so. I think everyone was doing it for a joke.
Yeah, I think everyone there was bidding for a laugh.
I don't know if it was this particular Blobby listing, but as someone pointed out in the Discord, there was a clause on it that you could not use it for anything.
Yeah, because Mr. Blobby is owned by someone, presumably.
Someone who shall not be named.
We don't know who owns it. I'm sure it's not N.E. wink. I'm sure it's not him.
It's not anyone. Yeah. There was always a rumor. There was a rumor, and I'm couching this in terms that I heard this as a rumor, and I in no way believe it. That someone had bought a taxi so that they could use like bus lanes to drive around in, and they kept at the time it was described as a mannequin in the passenger seat, so it looked like the taxi was occupied so people wouldn't try and hail that taxi down.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to think that might have been a Blobby mannequin just in the back.
So who are you? Are you?
It's not Mr. Blobby.
Anyone did that with the taxi? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I heard. That is the rumor that I heard. It could have been anyone.
I guess that would be useful if you were, zipping about from house party to house party. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe you would need to use the bus lane now and again.
Yeah, and if you were uncomfortable sitting in a car because of your crinkly bottom.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that to be true. And is that enough? Is that enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe it to be true either.
What's going down with you? Any new news with you?
Thank you. Wow, that was really well set up. Again, we will get on with the episode soon. Yes, I've written a book. I am an author.
Since last episode.
Since the last episode, I worked my little socks off, those small socks for babies' feet.
Oh yeah.
Popped them right off, and I've written a book. Here it is. I'm gonna slickly bring it into the frame. Is that in frame? I don't.
Sweet.
I don't know how. Yeah.
Where
I'm
your
in frame
face
now.
was.
There we go.
Follow us around the room.
Eye contact now. NVIDIA eye contact. Okay, there. Natural eye contact. This is the book. It's a kid's murder mystery called. I shouldn't have to look at it to check. It's called Montgomery Bonbon Murder at the Museum. And I did write it, even though I can't remember the title or pronounce the name of the protagonist.
Can I see the spine?
Yes.
Oh, it's upside down.
Okay. Yep. Right.
Thank you. Oh, there he is. Oh, lovely. Walker books.
Oh, it's upside down. There we go.
Walker books. I mean, for me, in my household, Walker books are a sign of class.
A sign of quality. Yes. Quality. Look at the paper on that.
Is that out?
It's got drawings.
Is that in all good bookshops?
It's in several good bookshops. I haven't checked all of them. Philosophically, I feel like I could not commit to all good bookshops.
Good. All good bookshops and also websites.
Yeah, absolutely. And no bookshops in America. And so surely there must be some good bookshops in America. It's not in them.
Oh,
sorry, America.
Oh, maybe we could. Maybe there's a workaround, but I can't work it out.
I think it's buying it and getting someone to post it to you.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Some people in the comments are saying that they've got the book. Thank you, people in the comments. I mean, obviously, like it seems it's a bit of a hard sell considering I'm just selling to the people in the chat of this live stream. But hey, you got to make that money.
Exactly.
You got to shift those copies.
That's well. What have I been up to, Alistair? Thanks for asking.
James, how are things? How are things with you? How is that taxi driver mannequin scheme you've been running working out?
It's not. I tried to get rid of it, but the big bidder fell through. I've realised I've had a terrible week. I was casting around like what to update people on. What have I been up to?
Yeah.
And this is not even a bit. It's not a joke. It's a confession, guys, folks. I miss bin night.
Oh, wait. You missed bin night?
I missed bin night. I missed bin night.
You missed bin night?
Yeah. I know.
And what is bin night? That's the day when they take when you
That's
put
the bin night. That's the well, it's morning really. But yeah, it was this morning. I woke up and I was pottering around, making my coffee and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the bins. And I went out, dragged my bin out, and checked the neighbour's bin, empty.
Running down the street after the bin truck.
Checked the neighbour's bin, that was empty. And still, I thought there might be hope. I thought my neighbour had just put an empty bin out, just for no reason, just through
arrogant, foolish neighbour.
Yeah, just muscle memory had led them to put a bin out which had nothing in it. And checked across the street, bin empty. I miss bin night. What?
James, do you know what your mistake was? Not leaning out the window the night before and saying, "You boy, what night is it?"
The wheelie bin as big as me, sir. It was black.
I amused myself with that.
It was black bin night. People asking. It was the main bin.
A main bin, proper landfill rubbish.
Yeah.
Horrible, stinky rubbish.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Terrible business. I'm normally like one of the main bin guys. I'm normally the source of bin information on the street WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But I have I've let myself down. I got to hand in my dad. I've got my best dad mug here, and I think I'm gonna have to hand it back in.
Does it say best dad on it?
It says best daddy.
Best daddy.
Best daddy.
That's good. You can get 2 markets with that mug.
Yeah. Yes. The wrestler, that wrestler, Big Daddy.
Yes, the Big Daddy.
Wrestler.
Buy him a mug.
Yeah.
And also people who are dads. Those are the 2 main uses of the word daddy, I think.
Yeah. Well. People are asking if there are nappies in that bin because they are remembering the maggoting.
They're trying to get a post story out of you, James. Don't rise to it.
No, we no
Don't
longer.
give them a poo anecdote. We know what they want, but you've got to parcel them out.
Very much so. Yes, one a day or one every other day if you've not been drinking enough water. But that is 100% not what I'm here to talk to you or anyone else about.
We've squandered the opening, really,
Yes.
with self-promotion and a horrible story about bins.
Yes. But what
a small amount of slander.
Oh, it's barely slander. I want to talk to you about a book that has come to my attention entitled An Account of a Meeting with Denizens of Another World by William Robert Loosely, edited and with commentary by David Langford. I think it's out of print because I've got an old copy from 1979, which is when it was published. And on the back, I want to read you some of the other books that are advertised on the back. War in 2080, The Future of Military Technology. And this lists it looks at the trends of current military technology and scientific progress and extrapolates them into the future.
I'd love to know if that was correct.
Well, we've only got to wait 50 years. That is 216 by 138 millimeters.
That's the size of the book.
Yeah, all of the books listed on the back, it tells you the size for some reason, which is good to know.
Okay. I mean, I guess you need. I mean, I guess you need to know how big a book is if you know it's going to fit on the shelf. But I would have thought just knowing if it was book sized, vaguely book sized, would be enough. You'd
kind of assume there's not page count. We haven't got a page count on here. We haven't got any idea of depth. This could be like
height and width or breadth.
Oh, also, by the way, actually, this I've already sidetracked myself. I know what the name is for the size between a pamphlet and a booklet.
What's that?
It's called a chapbook.
A chapbook.
A chapbook.
I heard the phrase and I didn't know what it was.
It's a book that's like sewn together. It's a few leaves of paper sewn together. That's what it is.
Just a little book for a chap.
Yeah, just a little
delicious chap's book.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another one is Into Thin Air, People Who Disappear, which
brilliant
covers famous cases such as that of the Bermuda Triangle and Mary Celeste. They're shown to be rather less mysterious than they might first have seemed to be, but there are other instances where the application of logic and historical research fails to provide an explanation.
Intriguing.
Another book, The Road to the Stars, again 247 by 169.
Thanks. I was about to ask.
That's the biggest book on the list. Talks about in the not too distant future, man's survival may depend on his ability to travel among the stars.
Yeah, you make a mistake writing a book about the not too distant future. You want to choose something like 2080, where it's pretty much guaranteed you'll be dead by the time anyone can go, oh, we don't have robots that carry us about on the battlefield.
Yeah,
you don't have that, you idiot. You're dead. You don't care.
Oh, this is illustrated with color pre-constructions by Andrew Farmer.
With color pre-constructions.
Pre-constructions. It's like a reconstruction, but before.
First.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody enacts a crime before it happens. That's deeply suspicious.
Yes. That's just a practice run, isn't it?
That's from the TV show Crime Starters.
Yeah. Crime settling down to getting your popcorn ready. That's meant to be a Crime Watch riff. It wasn't very good. And the final book it comes across quite aggressive. Extraterrestrial Encounter, described as one of the few books on extraterrestrial encounter that actually has anything new to contribute. Whoa.
Well, I mean, I was about to say when I try and sell a book, I am trying to sell a book, but you'll notice I didn't sell it by saying all other books are awful. Please buy this. Please buy the one good book that there is. Mine.
This book has a welter of new ideas and radical speculation, together with its pointing out of flaws in previous strategies and predictions. This is one of the most provocative of books in this provocative field of study.
It's almost written in Garth Marenghi's voice,
It's
as in.
Yes, very much so. Pointing out flaws in previous strategies. Whoa. It's coming out hot. 216 by 138. So
Oh, nice. Good
standard book
size,
size.
actually.
Standard.
Good size, yeah.
Yeah, great size for a book.
That of all those people, the person who seems like the worst to sort of get trapped in a pub, in the corner of a pub with, I think will be the last one.
Yes.
War of the Future guy sounds like a right laugh.
He's at War of the Future guy is the guy that edited and commentated upon William Robert Loosely's account of a meeting with denizens of another world, 1871.
And I'm excited about this because they're denizens, which, as
Yes.
far as I know, is the same as it's like citizens but manky.
Yeah, but in a den.
What is the definition of denizen? It's just like horrible people of a
It could be a
place.
nice den. It could be like a, like a den that you make out of sofa cushions.
It never is, though, is it?
No, you're thinking of more like a Fox's.
It's always some
Badgers.
kind of Mose Eisley opium den type of location.
Yeah, a den of iniquity.
The chat has noticed the Mock the Week mug. I'm sorry. I'm going to just hammer it into the ground until only the mug remains. And
yeah. Well, I mean, you're already there. The TV show's gone.
Which is really the first great pillar to fall.
Yeah, in a TV show.
In Mock the Week terms.
Yeah. So William Robert Loosely, getting to the subject in hand. Billy Bob Loosely, William Robert Loosely, 1838 to 1893. Carpenter, joiner, undertaker.
Oh. The triple threat.
That is the Victorian triple threat.
Call me a work shy fop, but I would have thought the carpenters and joiners were the same thing. I can feel I'm being judged as I say it. They're not the same thing.
I think you make the wood and then you might get someone else to put it together.
So the joiner puts the wood together and the carpenter cuts it into pieces.
Yeah, in the other order though, ideally. Otherwise, you've got a very angry joiner.
If a carpenter could learn to put things together, then that would really be a bonanza.
Well, Billy Bob did.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's a carpenter and a joiner. Yeah, fair enough.
And if anyone messes with that, he's an undertaker too.
Yeah. What are you making there? Your coffin.
And it is very well put together.
Actually, there, the dovetailing there. Rebating plane.
Oh.
I know the name of, just in case there are any sort of handymen or women or binary handies listening who are judging me.
Well, he lived on the outskirts of High Wycombe. His shop was on Oxford Road of High Wycombe. It was pretty big.
High Wycombe? I hardly know him.
Oh, High Wycombe.
Best I can
do. He listeners of the minisode will remember he worked on the renovations of Benjamin Disraeli's nearby manor.
Of course.
Of course.
Was he carpenting, joining, or undertaking?
I think he was doing a combination of the first two.
Right, good.
Hopefully.
Good to know that he could slip into the third in case of an accident.
Yeah. Is there an undertaker in the house? Yes. He was clearly a very skilled carpenter. And there was an interesting example of his skill, which was still in his family's possession in the late 1970s, which was a very fancy desk. Now, I think we've got a picture of William and his family, which should be popping up on your live streams shortly, if you'd be so kind. Picture number 1, I think.
I'm very excited to see it as and when it pops up.
I mean, it's a classic Victorian family, all set together.
Yeah, stern dad,
bunch
sad
of kids
mum,
dressed
14 children,
all dressed as grown-ups.
And weirdly, everyone dressed like a ghost.
Yes, yeah. They had that eye thing, I think.
The eye thing where the eye always looks at the camera, but their face is all blurry because they've been moving it around.
Yeah,
long exposure.
Just tutting at how long this is taking.
Do you think Kieran knows that we want the picture now, or? There it is. That was, I think, one of the slickest transitions we've done yet.
Actually, these guys are all in focus. None
No,
apart
I can
from.
see this. I'm really aware of how much brighter my face is than yours.
Oh wow,
Look at
yeah.
that. We look like two different eggs. Do you know,
What?
like you look like one of the darker speckled eggs, and I look
Okay.
like an alien's egg from a sci-fi movie.
Or one of them American bleached eggs
Yeah, a
that we saw
bleached
in
American egg.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that guy with the mutton chops, that's William Robert, and those are his family. Now this tale
The
happened.
one on the left looks really cheeky. Cheeky look to camera.
Oh yeah, and the little one behind him as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top right
Cheeky
seems
bowl cut.
aloof and floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the carpenter. Probably made that chair he sat on.
Well, it looks rubbish. Look at how wonky it is. I'm sorry. I can't make a chair, but I can tell when a chair is rubbish.
Some of his stuff was good. He made a desk which had all sorts of fold-away sections. This is the item that was still in his family's possession, like 100 years later. It was a desk, and it had, it was described as having all sorts of fold-away sections. There was like a pop-up drawing board thing. There was a lid that would slide back, and there'd be like loads of pigeonholes in it.
This is a classic murder mystery desk.
Oh yes,
all secret puzzle box elements that you can't see because of the wood carving.
Yes, and inside that magical magician's desk, there was, of course, a secret drawer. If we could go to slide number 2, there's a little arrow pointing it out there. Secret drawer,
a hidden drawer. I mean, I can't. Oh, I see. I don't know.
The hidden drawer can just be seen at the center. It's a slight. I don't know if you can tell. It's a slightly lighter wood.
No, I can't tell.
And it's got a big arrow pointing at it. Hopefully,
I can see the arrow. I'm not a maniac. Yes, I can see that.
Hopefully, this skill was kept to the drawers, and he didn't sort of bring that over into the Undertaker side of things, with like
a secret second coffin in the coffin.
A little pop-up pirate of a coffin.
No, I wouldn't like that at all.
And inside that secret drawer in the 1970s, his great-great-granddaughter found a manuscript, the account of meeting with denizens of another world.
Wow.
And if we could show the cover of the book, there you go. That's the guy there. That's the book.
What's that? 4 different fonts?
Yeah, a few. I'd say. What's
wow.
That? This is about 216 by 138, I reckon.
That's a lot. An account of meeting with denizens of another world.
1871. GMT.
William Robert Locksley. Edited with commentary by David Langford.
Yeah, it's lovely. Right. Thank you very much, Kieran. That is just so people can get a picture in their head. That's what we're going to be taking from today. Sorry.
Am I being Johnny Skeptic by saying I don't believe that she found the document in the 70s in the secret drawer and that maybe it was a lie? Am I jumping ahead?
Well, I never.
I mean, I don't know anything about it yet, but it just sounds like the kind of thing that would be a lie.
Why don't you listen with an open mind to...
Okay, all right.
Now, I need to workshop a voice here very briefly. I need the voice of that guy. I need William Robert Loosely's voice.
Well, what do we know about him? He's a joiner, a carpenter, and an undertaker.
So there's gravity there.
Yes. So kind of like your normal voice, to be honest.
But there's also quite a lot of words for me to read. So it needs a little summit to differentiate when I'm talking and when he's talking.
Yeah, and you don't want to be Darth Vadering all the way through this.
Oh God, no. What's your Victorian man voice? Let me have a listen.
What do you mean? As if I've got 1,000 voices. I've got 1,000 voices. I'm a man of a million voices. It's just a lot of them sound like the same posh man from the olden days.
Yes. Okay. It is my intention to record. This is how it opens, by the way. This is how the account opens. It is my intention to record the curious and marvelous happenings of a few days past while the memory is still vividly with me. A little longer and I shall surely begin to forget. So that's how he opens.
Okay.
So what happened was
I'm not gripped yet, but go on. It's hard to write a book, I wouldn't want to judge a fellow author.
A few days after the birth of one of his kids, I thought it was his first child, but looking over, I'm not sure which one it was. Probably his second, the one that was born in 1871. So a few days after that birth, he was suffering from a bit of a fever and he was unable to sleep. So he went outside to cool down. And he looked in the sky and he saw a light moving in the sky, slowly moving, like a shooting star, but not really shooting, more just sort of trundling star. Nowadays, you'd look at it and think, I wonder if that's the ISS. But in those days, they didn't have an ISS. They didn't have an ISS. So it's actually it's quite a peculiar thing to see.
Each country had their own space station back in those days.
Yeah, and they were all on the ground.
Yeah, they were on the ground, yeah. But they were ready for space. I say, close that door. Don't you know it's space out there?
Not yet.
So Victorians prepared for space. It was all they were just running tests. Just have a quick look out there. Yeah, it's very spacey. Just close it quick. That's what you have to do if you're in a Victorian airlock.
Put the latch on, boy.
Opening the Victorian airlock to knock your pipe ash out the window and then closing the airlock. Blow, it's terribly cold out there in space. Carry on, James.
And he saw it and he heard a thunderous noise. And then, all of a sudden, the light stopped. So sudden was the arresting of its motion that my eye went on perforce to find the shadowed bulk of the hill where, a moment before, it seemed the thing must plunge in ruin. But no, it hung poised among the low northerly stars, as though hoping to conceal itself in stillness, though outshining half the sky. So
this sounds like olden days writing. I know I was being skeptical a minute ago, but that really sounds like the needless verbosity of a Victorian carpenter, joiner, and undertaker.
Yes, and the sound, and I still stood gaping at this magical halt when, it must have been a second or two after, the thunder too fell silent. It's the voice as well. I'm selling it to you, I think.
Yeah. It's part of the voice.
I was about to act like a sensible fellow by returning to my bed, when that imbecile light moved yet again, not this time with any steady purpose of descent, but in a wandering, questing fashion. And then he goes on to be sexist. I'm just gonna skip over that.
Skip over it.
Lower.
It's like, it looks like a bird's driving that.
Basically,
is that what he says? How do they?
In a wandering, questing fashion, like my lady customers who move from one fine chair to another, forever undecided of their wants. Women. You know how men choose chairs and how women choose chairs.
How many legs it got? 4. Put it in the van. That's how men do it, like masculinely.
Yeah. Lower and lower it sank in its aimless drift, and with a new thrill of fear and wonder touched me. Lower and lower it sank in its aimless drift, and a new thrill of fear and wonder touched me when it came to the dim outline of the hill. For, not vanishing respectably behind this familiar horizon, the light was plainly in front of the hill, between myself and the hillside. So, it started floating. He's realizing it's not in the sky. Well, it's in the sky. It's not in, the vastness of space. It's between him and the hill.
It's quite nearby, yeah.
It's nearby. And he sees it go down amongst a little copse of trees. Is that a tautology? Is it copse by its... Anyway, a bunch of trees.
Copse of trees. You can say copse of trees. Yeah, a copse can't be made of anything other than trees.
Bunch of trees. And he's like, oh, maybe it's a St. Elmo's fire. He's like, no, those only go on ship's masts.
Yeah.
And then it snuffed out like a candle. It is gone, and the night is like any save for Mr. Loosely gaping and all a shiver. So he goes back inside and he goes to bed.
Oh, that's it. He's off.
Yeah, so far so dream. And the next morning,
Yep, fair enough. Yeah.
the next morning, he's like, I don't know if anyone else saw this. So he sort of subtly asked his wife, like, "Oh, did you hear any thunder stuff last night?" And she's
And
like,
she says,
"No,
"No, I was up all night
slept through."
picking chairs."
I was thinking about chairs. And to his
Which one to buy?
kids, he was like, "Did you happen to know?" No, nothing. He started asking the random people that came in his shop, but everyone was asleep and their sleep was untroubled. He spoke to one guy who's quite the character, for not a single person with whom I conversed had aught to say of his night's doings, but that he'd slept. One gouty old fellow had not had a wink, sir, and slept always with the window open, and no, sir, he'd not heard a sound. So even someone else,
no
who
corroboration from the
No
gouty, the
corroboration.
goutiest of gentlemen.
From the gouty High Wycomer.
I mean, yeah, it really sounds like a dream.
So he decided, I'm going to go and see what happened up there on that hill. I know where those trees are. I'm going to go there, puts his boots on, gets his stick. He goes out for a walk and he's poking around the area. There's no scorching on the grass, as you might expect from some sort of flaming thing coming down to the ground. He's poking around. There's nothing there. There's nothing. Ahem. Then came the discovery, without which I should never have set pen to paper this day. Should in the end have dismissed last night's amazement with some such words, there are more things in heaven and earth. Though in the first instant I thought little of what I now saw, which was no more than a movement in the low, bushy growths nearby. Reader.
Bushes.
Yes.
Bushes to you.
Bushy growths.
Bushy
yes.
growths. Low bushy growths. What were they?
Small bushes.
Some manner of bush, I would say.
Reader, what does a stirring in the undergrowth signify to you?
All right.
Saucy. A bird hopping.
Don't want to get demonetized.
To or from its hidden nest. A fox or badger creeping furtively from its earth. I was curious. Still I peered close. Saw only a shifting of leaves which rustled. Incontinently I thrust my stick into the foliage, thinking that perhaps this animal might be goaded into showing itself. Imagine my astonishment when the steel ferrule struck. Was it stone? No, metal. Some improvident farmer then had tossed out an old plough rather than have it mended. But again, no. For now,
this guy's internal monologue is just a roller coaster of, and then I saw an alien. Oh no, probably just a badger wearing shoes. But I poked you with my stick, and it was definitely an alien. No, probably just a horseshoe.
Have you already read this? Because
carry on, go ahead. What's next?
For now, the foliage heaved again, and this metal thing rapped twice against the stick's extremity. I do confess to one wild thought of an armor-clad fox.
An armor-clad fox.
I think he'd just seen Labyrinth. Before I threw down my stick and parted the tangled briar, it is no easy matter to describe what I saw. A thing at whose sight a fresh access of awe and wonder held me rooted to the spot. The first likeness which sprang to my mind was an engraving of Plato's perfect solids. I should look this word up. The icosahedron, or 20-faced body. It's basically a D20.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce icosahedron either.
We'll just say D20.
D20.
The skulker in the leaves then resembled a D20.
20-sided dice, by the way, in case anybody listening isn't a nerd.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't think we don't need that translation.
Just in case.
It resembled an icosahedron, all of glittering metal, about 18 inches in height, with perhaps more facets than your true platonic body. I'm not certain. And these less than perfect in regularity. And these less than perfect in their regularity. The symmetry was marred further by many small nubs and protuberances of the same shiny metal. Scarcely a facet was free of such blemish. I mean, he does use a lot of words, and I'm getting most of them.
Almost all of the words. I think your hit rate is very high, James.
Yes.
I think blemish might have been what you were going for there.
Blemish. Scarcely a facet was free of such blemish. And it was covered in mud and sort of whizzing around in this sort of wood floor.
It was moving.
It was moving around.
It was moving around. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right.
It rocked on its base and it sort of tilted up towards him, and he leant down to look at it, and a little sort of metal hatch opened up, and behind it was
I always get my face near to mysterious artifacts. First thing I do when I'm wandering in the zone and I see something unexplained, I just get right in there with my face.
Just sort of bash it with a stick.
Oh yeah, I'll give it a good old whack, and then straight in with the face.
Could be an armor-clad fox.
Could be an armor-clad fox, and you need to show them who's boss.
Exactly. And so yeah,
Sorry, James, in the countryside, that's how we do things. You liberal lefty Labour voting city folk don't understand. Sometimes you're just going to really hit a fox.
That's
it's
why,
just nature.
Because it well could have armor on it, and that is
could
why
have armor on. Oh,
they have to hunt them.
Yeah. Oh, you think our farmers should be checking for armor first and then striking, but then the armor-clad fox has got the farmer by the neck.
Yeah.
Another dead farmer, and that's on your conscience, James.
That is true. That is true. So yeah, this little thing had a little hatch popped up. It was like a little glass lens, and you like peeked into it, and then another little hatch opened up, another little glass lens, peeked into that, boom, flash, a bright purplish flash, poof, poof, flash, 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 3 flashes, and he's rocked back on his heels, blinded, and then
that is what kind of thing that happens if you stick your face right into mysterious lenses.
And then it advanced on him with a rod poking out of it, coming towards him. So he ran away.
Yep, yeah, fair enough.
And then after a little bit, he finally gets his bravery back, and he goes looking again, and he sees it. It's just sort of pootling around. He notices on the floor there's all these little tracks, and it must have some sort of wheels on it or something, and it's just moving around, and it's picked up a little dead body of a rat or some little sort of creature with one rod, and another rod comes out, and it's got this, what he describes as like a thin, flexible, filmy glass that it wraps the rat up in, and then another little hatch opens and it pops the rat inside its sort of like chest cavity thing.
So far, it's behaving like a player in an RPG video game.
Yes.
It's the first thing. You arrive, a rat attacks you, you kill the rat, you immediately see, was that rat carrying any cash, maybe a key, anything valuable? Oh, rat meat, I'll have that.
Yeah,
that's fine, I might need it. I'm never going to do anything with the rat meat. It's probably poisoned, but I'll take it. It's the start of an RPG.
I'm going to keep it for some sort, like, just because it was the first thing that I collected. I'm going to
at least keep it until I get to the inn, and then maybe sell it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Has Sir got any rat meat on us? The innkeeper. That was the innkeeper.
Yeah, that'd be one gold piece. Nice. Good value.
So he sees it pottering around, and then he realizes it's got his stick. He's picked up his stick.
That's my stick, and an Englishman's rod is his stick, as they say.
Yeah, that's my armor-clad fox poking stick.
If an armor-clad fox were to accost him on the way home,
defenseless,
he'd need to get like a hen or a sack of grain or something to distract it.
Yes, at a river.
Yeah, at a river. An armor-clad hen.
So he follows it, and then it goes to a bigger version of itself, like another big D20, and it gives the stick to it, and that puts the stick in its thing, and he's like, I want my stick back. It's got my stick. And then the big one kind of makes a noise, and he realizes they've spotted him, and he starts to try and get away, but then the little one like herds him round like a sheepdog over to the bigger one, and he gets over to the big one, and what suddenly confronted me, born like a spirit from thin air before my eyes, was a man. A man, moreover, who seemed not a little insubstantial, close to translucent. So it seemed that the alien, but at the least solid, So it seemed that the alien, but at least solid, machines kept the stranger company of ghosts. Again, my wonder was mingled with fear. But this man's face was not unfamiliar. He was dressed like myself in good, plain clothes. Blah, 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 blah. This man was undeniably myself. Myself!
Oh.
I'm not ashamed to record that I clutched urgently at my waistcoat.
To make sure that he was not naked.
To check that he was actually real, I think.
Oh, I see.
Himself.
Mm.
And now the image changed. In an eye blink, it shifted. Now the semblance of myself was dazed, not fearful, but seemingly stunned, perhaps by intimations of disaster. I briefly wondered whether this was a glimpse of some horrid future. But again, the figure suddenly changed, so that the third presentiment showed this same loosely, but now with his hand before his eyes, so that his countenance was hidden.
Wow. If you want, I can do some sci-fi lighting effects just to go with this part of the story.
Oh,
that's it. That's the best I can do.
And you
do
seem a little insubstantial.
I am a little insubstantial, nay, translucent.
Yeah, it was an image of him, and then a kind of orb. The image of himself is disappears and then is replaced by an orb, and it shows a bunch of weird
classic orb.
Classic orb situation. It shows a bunch of weird patterns and numbers. He doesn't really understand what's going on. There seems to be some sort of logic to these numbers, but he like flashes of light and images within this orb. And this is a guy from 1871. Like, they haven't got telly or anything, so this is pretty out there.
He's never seen any basic special effects. You're right. So this is all new to him.
Yeah. And after a while, he describes this. Feeling that something was expected of me, I shrugged my shoulders, bowed to the larger engine, or rather to its occupants, and said aloud, "Sirs, your conjurer's show is all mystery to me." There ensued another pause. Excuse me. There ensued another pause.
Was that you? I thought that was me.
That was me.
Is that you?
Yeah.
I felt it in my own chest. Maybe you are a reflection of me.
That was my inner workings. The whole affair recalling my comical conversations with a monsieur who, I have no doubt, said his say lucidly and in ingenious variety of ways, though in French always. Struggle as he might, his meaning remained obscure.
With a monsieur? Who?
Monsieur. So he's basically saying this alien was talking to him. It's a bit like talking to a Frenchman.
Oh, right. Sounds awful.
Yeah. So he's being shown, and in the.
Did you see that? Sorry, did you see that tweet from the AP style guide about avoiding the use of the word "the"?
Oh no.
Well, it said try to avoid using the word "the" when you're talking about a group of people. And it gave examples of what you shouldn't do, like don't say the poor or the disabled or the French. And it included the French in the examples. And it's like, what you don't understand is the reason that we were calling them the French was specifically to be irritating to them. We were doing it on purpose. So people were suggesting alternatives, like people with Frenchness.
Yeah.
That's an aside. Cut that out.
So in the commentary, David Langford sort of extrapolates what some of these things might have been. So it showed a bunch of numbers, like a series of 4 lights, 6, 8, 12, 20, which all refer back to these platonic solids. Those basically your classic dices.
Yeah, cubes. A torus, is a torus a platonic solid?
Maybe.
Sphere is a sphere one.
No,
it's got no sides. Has it got one side?
I think it should be, but what I think Plato probably knew better than me on this one.
Okay.
It's something along the lines of a shape that is made of, all the sides are the same shape, the same size, basically, and you could only make 4, 6, 8, 12, and 20 sided things in that manner, basically.
I see. Okay, all right.
David also postulates that the images shown to him, the 3 images, were the 3 images of himself, and this alien was trying to work out if he could recognize himself, kind of thing. And when he did, it was like, okay, we're going to try and communicate. Gave him loads of maths, basically. They were mathematically significant numbers. Something about a Pascal triangle or Fibonacci sequence. These all sound like delicious puddings.
I'm not sure. You might want to have anotor go at Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci sequence.
I think you said Fibonacci sequence.
I did, because my N looks like a U, and I'll admit I'm not familiar with it.
But your puddings joke was really good. So say it again.
A Pascal triangle, a Fibonacci sequence. Again, these all sound like delicious puddings to me. A representation of the solar system. It tries to sort of show him that he's planet number 3 in this representation of the solar system. And all these images, like, they other things like represent atoms that sort of correspond to Schrodinger's wave equation, which wouldn't be formulated for another 50 years. And they've picked, I mean, if they'd have showed him a woodwork based thing, he would have been all over it.
Yeah, if they're just trying to diagram of the difference between being a carpenter and being a joiner.
He just like scrubbed it out. Go, this is nonsense. Yeah. This alien knows nothing. But it did make me think, like, what, you know, the things on like the Pioneer and the Voyager.
Yeah,
spacecraft.
It's got a couple of naked people.
The embarrassed guy going, "Hi, I've forgotten my trousers."
Yeah, and then just some Wagner probably and a Elvis track or something.
On Voyager,
I don't know what's on
there. It's got Johnny Be Good.
It's got Johnny Be Good.
It has.
Oh, just to sort of suggest that the human race generally tries to achieve virtuous behavior. Yeah, goodness. Yeah. We're good, or at least Johnny was exalted to be good.
Yeah, and hopefully underneath there's a little plaque that says, "Maybe you extraterrestrials aren't ready for that yet, but your kid's gonna love it." It's also got a song by Blind Willie Johnson.
Blind Willie Johnson?
Yeah, I don't know about the existence of a Blind Willie Johnson. Is he One-Eyed Willie's less fortunate brother?
There are multiple Blind Willies. Which Blind Willie Johnson song is it?
I don't know, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But in the land of Blind Willies, the One-Eyed Willie is king. That's a Goonies reference there. That's a twofer.
Yes.
There
yeah, that's pretty good.
So that's and that's as sort of commentary says that he was maybe being attempted to be communicated with by these aliens in a way that he would just not be able to understand. William says, what does he says? There's a really good quote. So he sees all this stuff and he just gets bored, like, of seeing all these, like, seeing a floating sphere in front of him that's given all these lights shows in front of him. One of the quote is, "Then, to my dismay, a new show began." To be honest, it put me in mind of when I went to see Avatar at the cinema. Like, it was amazing, but
yeah.
Then, to my dismay, another hour began.
Is this Avatar 1 or Avatar 2?
I've not seen Avatar 2. And
I'm not aware of. I don't think I've met anybody until now. I didn't know you'd seen Avatar. Nobody has ever mentioned Avatar to me. I don't know of anybody who's seen Avatar, and yet they're two of the most successful films of all time.
Yeah, I know.
I guess someone's watching it.
But who? When you see, like, on the news, like, people all dressed up all blue and stuff going to see it, like, really? Yeah. Anyway, all in all, he likened the whole thing like trying to talk to a Frenchman. Jean Crappard, he gave it the name.
He gave it a satirical name, like an annoying French man.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I hope my French neighbour is always showing me equations and platonic solids.
So basically, in the end, he's got quite a fun description of. So it's showing all these pictures, and then the last picture an indescribably complicated tangle was suddenly gone. And as suddenly, like one who consults his watch and straight away begins to run, the smaller engine skimmed away. So I think the alien just got bored and was just like,
because this guy's really boring.
Gotta go, mate. Actually, sorry. And popped off. It showed him a sort of image of it's like he'd managed to work out one bit that was like demonstrating one of the little things and the bigger thing, and then the big ship that they came from. And he kind of worked out that it was meant to be coming back the next day, the next night, to pick up its things. So he went home, went to bed, and was like, "Oh, get up in the morning and I'll make sure I watch that. Maybe I'll go and have another chat to him." But he oversleeps and misses it. And there's a really well described thing where he wakes up and realizes it's coming down, and he's sort of at his window being like, "Oh, I could run, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to catch it." And I think we've all had that experience with buses. Yeah. Where you're like a bit later, like, I could run, but I'll probably just then be out of breath.
Yeah.
And not on a bus.
Yeah, and if you do run, then you're just getting there, and you still miss it. Then you've run, and you've got the maximum possible amount of time to wait.
Yes, exactly.
It's the worst of both worlds.
Yes. So that's it really. And then there's a little postscript, which is from about 10 years later. Another piece of paper was found, which says it's 14 years later. And it sort of says, "Oh, now there's things in Paris that could show these things," but it details that he doesn't want the story to be told until he's an old man, in case it hurts his reputation. So he's going to hide it in this drawer, which he did. And that's that.
Incroyable, as an alien might say.
Yeah.
Mon Dieu.
So
c'est l'histoire magnifique.
Au revoir, mon frère. I don't know.
Où est la piscine?
Où est mon platonique solide?
Maintenant, j'allais aux bibliothèques.
Je voudrais Euclidean space. I think that was what the alien was like. I just need my Euclidean space, actually, thanks.
It's a shame the alien didn't arrive in France, and they would have just been like, "Oh yeah, we talk like that." So,
yeah, bon.
Bon.
Yes, there's it's really, really lovely, well written account, and David Langford's bit afterwards really sort of goes into the explanations of what these things could mean. David Langford, I looked up. He's an author. He's an editor. He's a critic. He's got a degree in physics from Brasenose College at Oxford. He worked as a weapons physicist, and now he's a science fiction writer.
For the benefit of the listener, I'm squinting my eyes.
Yeah.
Skeptically.
Yes. And
skeptical.
He freely admits that this story is fictional.
What?
Yeah, sorry,
gang.
The
whole thing's not. I mean, I did say it right at the top, right at the start of the show. I said it was obviously a lie, but still,
He admits the story is fictional and notes that journalists don't usually ask.
And
there's
a little sting operation.
There's quite a famous ufologist, Whitley Strieber, who wrote Communion, which is meant to be based off a thing that happened to him. He thinks it's true, and he will not take David Langford's word that he's made it up. It's like become a massive part of ufology, this account.
Even though the author it says at the end, I made it up.
It doesn't actually say in the book. To be fair, it doesn't say in the book.
Okay.
Is very the closest thing it does is his little sort of write up on the dust jacket. It talks about he writes lots of sci-fi.
Okay.
It's got a very funny line at the end. His wife Hazel is a qualified Egyptologist who has great patience with all of this.
That's
very
good.
Nice.
That's really good.
Very nice. David Langford won 29 Hugo Awards, which
or Hugo, as an alien would pronounce that.
That's a a sort of a sci-fi writer's thing. That's
It's the main award for sci-fi writing.
he between 1979 and 2009, he had a 31-year streak of nominations.
Wow.
And between 89 and 2007, a 19-year streak of wins
Pretty
for
impressive.
the best short stories, sci-fi short story.
Venjadir in the chat is asking, and I think a lot of people's hearts ride on this, was the magic table with special hidden drawers also fictional? Or was there some truth to it?
Well, as he says, what of the great-great-granddaughter of William Robert Lucy? What happened to her? And as he says, reader, I married her. That was his wife. Was the great-great, and so I think the table is real.
So it's a real table. Good. So he saw a real table and thought, I can do something with that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Amy Muggleston is asking another very important question: are the French real?
We just don't know.
No one can tell. Yes, so that is the tale of an account of meeting with denizens of another world by William Robert Lucy, edited with commentary by David Langford and written by David Langford.
Well, that's not folklore, but it was a great story. So, and he does a good pastiche of doddery old Victorian prose.
Yeah, there's a couple
meandering old Victorian prose that spends as much time on hypothetical fox armor as it does on an actual alien.
I would say it's a really good read if anyone is after it. I think it's out of print, so it's kind of difficult to pick up. There are content warning. Aside from that sort of sexism, there are a couple of
chair-based
sexism. There are a couple of words used in it that might have been all right in the 70s to give an impression of a colonial era person. Definitely not cool now.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, it's not a bad little read.
Well, good to know. Enjoy your drink, James. You've earned it. Well done. I'll kill time while you swallow. There we go.
So then,
time killed. Shall I score this?
Yeah, we're going to need a category from the people in the chat. I've got one category which I'll save till last, and obviously the two standard.
James, I'm reluctant to say this in case in case you're down a well, but there's a bit of rustling on you as you move around. Are we listening? Am I hearing your microphone that's on your headphones?
Oh no! Oh dear Lord!
I didn't want to say anything while you were in full flow. I only noticed towards the end of the story. Yeah, I'm hearing that, so I assume that's what the chat is hearing.
Sorry everyone, but the recording is recording on the proper microphone.
Right, so you're gonna have to download the episode if you want to find out what most of that story was without the sounds of rustling.
Oh, I'm sorry everyone.
That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to check that the recording was going through the mic.
Can I change it mid-flow, I wonder?
If you click on the little microphone, I think you can. If you click on the settings cog.
Yeah, it's totally the wrong one. Everyone going to be ready for something that sounds quite good?
Yeah, we're ready.
It's going to be this now. This is much nicer, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit quieter actually, but yes.
Quieter. Okay. Oh, sorry. Well. Oh, good. Good.
Okay.
Oh, well.
You're too quiet, James. Can you?
Too quiet.
Am I too quiet? I've just remembered that the chat can't hear Kieran telling us that we're too quiet. So we're having a conversation with like some crazy French alien. No, Kieran in our ears was saying that we were too quiet.
Now too quiet. What do you reckon now? That's better.
Am I good as well, Kieran? Kieran said that we were both lovely.
Alice is being reassured that he is good.
Am I good and lovely? That's all I'm asking. Is that too much to ask? Tweet me to tell me that I'm good and lovely.
This will be the first time that I've actually clambered out of a well
mid-episode. Yeah. Wow, this is like a Japanese horror film. Specifically, one Japanese horror film that involves a well. It's the film Ring.
Ringu. But still the chat. nothing well-based, because that will not make any sense. Please, yeah, can we have some sort of category?
At the moment, the chat are just saying that we both sound worse.
How can
now.
you sound worse?
I don't know. I haven't changed, so I don't
haven't
know how I
touched
could
him.
sound worse. I don't know how I could be worse. Anyway, so the chat need to come up with a category. If you haven't done a live stream before, we accept suggestions for a period of time. There's an awkward lag between us
Yes.
talking and then you writing and us seeing it again, which we
Yes.
normally fill with sort of generally awkward bants. Nope, they're all still talking about.
They're still talking about the will.
Still talking about the well
some
situation.
Some are saying, is Kieran even real?
Kieran is real. Of course, Kieran's real. We wouldn't invent Kieran. You can't
Someone's
see
asking
him, though.
what's
You
in
just
my
have to take our
drawers.
word for it.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to the other one on that one.
All right, okay. What's in your drawers is a great suggestion for a category. Peter Larson, good work. Chauvinism, that's good. Like chauvinism, like male chauvinism, but for chairs. Well done, Amy Muggleston.
That's nice.
A lot of focus on the chairs, which I think were sort of incidental. One person, Javier Romel Ruiz, just suggesting chairs as a category.
Just chairs.
Just chairs.
I think. I mean, that's going to be a low scorer.
Well, there's got to be more than one to choose. But
I think this draw. I'm liking the draw based.
I think drawers. Yeah. Something about drawers.
Oh, platonic shapes is good because there's loads of sides.
There absolutely are loads of platonic shapes.
And there are 5 platonic solids.
Bethan Briggs Miller says, "What's that coming over the hill?"
Oh, that's nice.
Is it a icosahedron? Is that it?
Oh, don't make me.
Eusocahedron? We socahedron. Vulpes armatis, George Adams says, which I assume is Latin for armored fox.
Nice. Oh, Joiner Carpenter's The Thing That I Saw. That's just a great.
Sorry, yeah, Joiner Carpenter's The Thing. Ropes of Sand. That's really, really good.
Yeah, that is lovely. I'm trying to look at what the name of that shape was again.
Janice Pepper says that I should play the girl in the ring because you don't have the hair for it. I can be like, I don't know. I think you need straight hair for that. Can I be a teen Japanese, horrific Japanese teen girl ghost? Could I be?
Maybe.
Just tweet me if I would be a good ghost.
So, I think should we go for something drawery? Yeah, I think drawery. I think I've got.
Okay, all right. But I definitely want Joiner Carpenter's The Thing to make the edit. So you've got to get that in there somewhere.
Yes. Okay, Alistair. Are you? I feel there might be some backlash because this was a fiction.
Yep.
Are you ready to score me?
I'm ready to lash back. Yeah.
Yeah.
ABK lashes back. I came in saying not true, and I ended the story not true. And in the middle, I was like an armored fox, and that's been my journey.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good journey. It's not a bad journey.
No, I enjoyed it.
So first up, names.
Well, I like the Denizens of Another World. Denizens. A couple of D20s.
Billy Bob Loosely.
Yeah, that's okay. Loosely's good.
Annoyingly, these books, whilst they've got great blurbs, they've not got good titles.
No. General war business 40 years hence. Rubbish.
Yeah, there aren't many names in there, are there, really? At all. Maybe if I can pull something out of the bag, I could list his children's names, and then that might.
They better be good. They better be called Oral.
Betty, Bertha.
Bertha, yeah. Edith,
William,
nothing for that. William, nothing for that. What was that one?
Nina.
Nah.
Betty, Bertha. Betty and
Bertha. Just Bertha. Bertha's the only good one there. Do you want to enter Joiner Carpenter's The Thing in the names category to boost the score for this one?
Yes, one of the names for this tale suggested by the category is Joiner Carpenter's The Thing. Brackets that I saw. Close brackets.
That's a good name.
That's a good
That's
name.
significantly better than the title of the book. To be fair, I don't think John Carpenter's The Thing had come out when the book was published. So that's the only reason I can come up with.
Yeah.
Although the 1950s film The Thing had come out, so
it
The Thing
probably
from
had
Outer
less
Space is called.
fonts as well in its title.
Yeah. Well, the title of The Thing and the title of The Thing from Outer Space, it's the same. They reused the lettering from the original
really?
50s film. So the Thing, it's the
Yeah.
same, it's the same graphics for it was The Thing from Outer Space with the sort of dagger font. It's the same. If you see the original, it's great. It's such a Cold War film. Like an evil plant is trying to kill everyone. And there's an awful scientist who basically dresses like Jeremy Corbyn and has a little beard, who's like, what if we could talk and communicate with it? And the good guy is like, no, let's murder it for America. Get out of my way, Lenin. And the doctor keeps trying to communicate with it or see if maybe it doesn't mean to hurt us. And he's like, what if we used guns? And the moral of the story is, should have used guns.
Should have.
Shoot it.
Oh.
It's a communist plant.
Is that a pun?
It wasn't intentionally a pun. It is a communist. It's a plant that represents communism.
Oh no. All right. We've got a couple of more names that I've just remembered. We've got platonic solids. Do me a platonic solid.
Did you say do me a platonic solid?
Yes.
Nice.
We've got Pascal's triangle, Fibonacci sequence. He refers to the Frenchman as Jean Crapaud.
Oh, yeah, Jean Crapaud. Yeah. All right. Well, here's what I'll do, James. Would you like me to score these names along the Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many have we got? We've got Bertha. That's one.
Bertha.
We've got Jean Crapaud.
Billy Bob.
That's
another one.
That's also one. If we're on the Fibonacci sequence, so we're still on one. It's very low.
Blind Willie Johnson.
Blind Willie Johnson. That's 4.
Yes.
And that's as high as we can go on the Fibonacci sequence before getting higher than 5. So congratulations on 4 somehow.
Yes. Brilliant. I was thinking as well, if they were to rename this in a sort of The Thing style, would it
wait. No, I did the Fibonacci sequence wrong. The next one was 3. Forget it. Forget it.
Would they just...
I did the Fibonacci sequence. I've humiliated myself. We're going to have to correct that. The next one is 3. And then John Carpenter's The Thing is 5.
Yes.
So nice. It's 5 out of 5.
Fibonacci.
Honestly, when I said let's score it using the Fibonacci sequence, I thought it was going to be worse than that. I was very excited by the fact that it starts 1-1 and didn't realize how quickly 5 made an appearance.
At 4.
And now at this point, the people in the chat have started to correct me on what the Fibonacci sequence is, but you don't know that by the time you've done that, I'd already worked it out.
Oh, it's 5. It's 5. 5 is 5. That's good. If they were to remake this in a The Thing from another word style, would it just be called Denizens?
Denizens. Yeah. Denizens.
Denizens. Okay. Now then. My second category is supernatural.
0. Even on the... I mean, the Fibonacci sequence starts with 1, so it's too much.
That is too much for this.
0. 0 out of 5. 0 stars.
Whoa.
It's a D0, a 0-sided dice.
That is the sphere, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
Just a big O. Oh. Okay then. Fair enough. I didn't think I would do very well on that one. In which case, that brings us to the category, the category suggested by the chat on the YouTube live stream. And
good work, the chat.
Thanks, the chat. It was, what's inside your drawers?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because Magpie Rat said ABK was thinking about the Fibonacci sequence. Yeah, that's the one I was doing. It's slightly different. Sorry, do you want to do the category title again so I'll react appropriately?
So this category is suggested by the chat. It's the category. It is, what's inside your drawers?
That's a very 1970s. It's an appropriately 1970s category. The book came out in the 70s.
Yes.
And a huge amount of humor in the 70s centered around the noise. Ooh.
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 Oh, what's
Which
in your
suggested something from something in the bepanted area was occurring.
drawer?
And the good thing about drawers is it can refer to a drawer on a cabinet or under the pants.
Yeah, there's not much in his underpants, apart from he might have just been in his long johns when he went out that first night when he was a bit hot and he wanted to cool down.
I assumed you had some kind of pant-based stuff in order to bulk this out.
Well, the little creature that had like a sort of a bunch of drawers. Well, first of all, let's just get it out of the way. The desk, the magical desk with the
magic desk, secret drawers. Yes, that's great.
All sorts of pigeonholes. We've seen the picture. That did exist at the very least.
Yep. That's good.
The little creature, the little alien, the little robot, it's
got several little compartments.
It had compartments, yeah.
Yes.
It had what's probably a camera. It had a flash. It had a little compartment for dead rats.
Yeah, a little rat slot.
And then it went over to its bigger mate, and it gave it a big stick to put in it.
Yeah, there's a stick. I can't fit that in my drawer. Put that in yours.
Yeah, and that's it. I think, I'm afraid. Those
about 3 examples of drawers, I suppose.
But it was what about maybe a little cheeky secret bonus extra point?
For what purpose?
In that 3, if I sort of pulled on the middle bit of the 3,
I don't think so.
Would another little 1 pop out, turn it into a 4?
I don't think that's happening. I think in general, the premise of this part of the podcast is that you give reasons and then I give numbers. I don't think you can just at the end go, but what if it were higher? What? Can I have a little bit more? It's like an orphan. You can't just be like, please, sir, I need
another number.
Score as big as me. Different one.
Okay, right then.
You boy, what day is it? It's ABK playing hardball day.
Oh, right then.
I'm not giving you more than 3 for that.
Alistair, in which case my final category, it is Orson Well I Never. Now,
that's going to need an explanation. I don't understand that at all.
Quite a lot of explanation.
Okay.
Right. So, as I mentioned, David has said in multiple places, this is a fiction. This is a story that he
Did anybody ask, or is he just like at the bus stop? I made it up.
Well, the reason he's saying that is because people are citing this as an Victorian example of an alien interaction.
Impossible that he could have predicted that would have happened by publishing it as a Victorian account.
But he specializes in parodies. That's very much his thing.
Yeah. He's good at it. Absolutely,
he's very good at it. And the idea is that, and so people must be saying that he's now lying about it being a false, that they have got to him, and they are making him say
that he made it up.
A fiction. So what I posit is that he did find it, edit it, comment on it, and publish it as the story goes, but then they did get to him and they forced him to become a fiction writer.
Okay. Yeah.
He had a 31-year streak of nominations.
Do you think he made a deal with the devil or something?
Exactly. Like a 19-year winning streak.
Yeah.
And this started in 1979, the year that this was published.
Okay.
And he's now trapped in that lie, unable to convince anyone that he is a liar, because they'd be like, well, you're lying now. What about if you were, that means you were not lying. Why are you telling the truth now? It means you were telling the truth before. It's a real paradox. He does actually... Go on.
How does that connect to Orson Welles?
Well, you might remember Orson Welles did his famous radio production of War of the Worlds.
Yes, I do.
Which now we're told that the reports of people believe in it and panic were overstated. But what if it was real, and there was an alien invasion that Orson Welles reported on.
Orson Welles. Do we just report just the director of fiction Orson Welles was
At that point
chosen to report on?
Yeah, and then he
the
was
head of the
subsequently-
Mercury Theatre troupe. We'll just get him to do it.
And then they were
He's got a
like,
good
"Well, you're
voice.
going to have to become a director now."
Right,
they
but you'll
got
be
to
the
him.
greatest director.
Yeah,
of
he
it
3
for a
years
bit.
later he
And-
made the greatest
Mhm.
film ever made, and you could
Yes.
very much argue by looking
Herbie.
at the work and
It's
life
about
of
a
Orson
Volkswagen
Welles.
with a mind of its own.
You could argue that he very much fell out of love with cinema, and at points it was like he was a man being forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In 1973, there was a faux documentary film called F for Fake.
Yes, it's excellent.
Is that a cry for help? It's about a docudrama about an art forger.
It's really, really good. I sort of feel like of you, me, and the listeners, I'm the only person who's seen that film. It's excellent. F for Fake.
And what was Orson Welles' last film that he was in?
Oh, that he was in.
Mm.
Is it the robot one?
Transformers the movie.
Sorry, Transformers the movie or the robot one?
Yes, where he
I think
played.
The last one he made wasn't he making Don Quixote when he died? Anyway, carry
aren't
on.
we all? He played Unicron, an alien robot intelligence that is intent on attacking and devouring the Earth. Is this
Wow.
a message?
And that was his way of telling us, with a film that he obviously had no respect for.
His final line in cinema is
Hmm.
"Destiny, you cannot destroy my destiny," and then he explodes. That is how Orson Welles left cinema.
I think also left us a variety of other secret messages like delicious French wines of Parmesan.
The P.
Like what did he mean by that when he delivered those lines really weirdly? What was he trying to tell us?
I would
tell me what you want in the depths of your ignorance. You wouldn't direct an actor like this in Shakespeare.
So
and other Orson Welles quotes.
Does that sound like someone who is in love with his art and wants to do
Maybe
it, or
not.
someone that is being forced to by?
Yeah, no. Look, I'm not saying that
the
Orson
man.
Welles was a happy chappy, but I just don't know if that proves the existence of aliens.
I would like to
never mind tangentially proving the existence of a different set of aliens based on a pun.
Yes.
Sorry, I hit the mic there with the force of my words. I'm unconvinced, although I did enjoy you bringing up Orson Welles.
I would also like to point out that because these things can get out of hand, I absolutely do not believe any of that argument at all. Right? I think that I made that up for a joke.
No, that's
Wing.
what they're making James say. And the Loremen podcast went on to be reasonably popular.
We were
Coincidence?
we were forced to make it forever.
Yeah. And sometimes we got down to the final round in the League of British Comedy Podcasts, but didn't ever win because like that dinner one would win or something.
Yeah, that dinner one would win.
I don't know what it's called.
The dinner one.
But I have seen F for Fake, so there you go.
Yeah. All right. So, what was my score for Orson? Well, I never, because also it never happened. I mean, it's layers upon layers. It's at least 5 layers.
To ask me for a score like this, how can you place a score on a man's life, James?
It's like I don't think a man's life could ever be summed up with a single score. That's someone else. That's a different character in Citizen Kane. It doesn't. It's not important. All right. It's 5, but only if you like on your deathbed whisper that 5.
Oh,
on your deathbed and then drop a snow globe. And inside the snow globe, there's just a tiny little you and me doing a thumbs up.
And all the little snowflakes are little 5s.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we could do that. Easy enough.
All right. 5 it is then. 5.
Brilliant. Thanks.
We know a little place where 5s are grown.
Yes. So I mean that's I
Oh, yeah,
feel
sorry.
a bit bad.
Normally at the end of the recordings, when the chat aren't here, we just sort of
It
stop
peters off
talking and then
into
realize that's the
remembering.
end of the episode.
Yeah.
I forgot that there were people who
I-
I'm pointing over here because that's where my chat is.
I hope no
I'm doing
one
the NVIDIA eyes thing.
minds that that it turned out to be false, but
There's a lot of anger. Virginia Dodier is asking to work in the magnificent Ambersons. Yeah, we already have by going on way too long. Zing! Take that, Orson Welles. Yeah, I'm talking about the studio cut where they hack big lumps out of it as well. It's still a bit long, and the ending is somewhat unsatisfying.
Was it recorded down a well?
No,
There's
no,
none of it
there's no well
happened
in the
in a well.
magnificent Ambersons.
Oh, someone has a question. Hold on.
Oh, okay. What's the question? Cheetah 00. If
I mean, it's
question
going
is
to
not
take about
forthcoming,
2 minutes, isn't it, for the whole
yep,
thing?
yeah, it's going to take a while. Certainly,
Yeah.
they're going to hear us saying, "What's the question?" way after they ask the question.
Probably logged out by now.
What is the question? Do we not? I have a question. Hello, I have a question. So it sort of seems like they've just arrived to say, "I have a question."
Yeah. What is this?
It's just what's going on. I just turned on the internet and saw this page. What's going on?
Yeah.
Question's not coming. Forget
Bethan is really, really upset.
Oh, we've got the questions here. Sorry.
Oh,
great
no, this is a
question.
good one. I saw some capitalized micro movements.
Micro movements.
They're
movements in disguise.
So if your dowsers are causing leaks, they're going to find them.
Looks like the dowser has revealed a leaker.
Yeah. The dowser has become the dowsy.
When you douse with a dowsing stick, be careful you don't douse yourself. When you stare into a leak, careful you don't become Thames water.
Live by the dows, die by the dows.
Yeah, and other things.
Yeah, I think. I think that's cleared it up. Thanks for bringing that up.
I think we might have been buffering through all of that, so I think the aliens might have got to us. People don't want to know the truth about dowsing.
Oh no!
Which is that it's just holding a stick.
2 sticks.
Sometimes 2 sticks. Yeah. 2 sticks. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, 2 sticks.
Right then. Speaking of dowsing, really need a wee.
Yeah, me too. We didn't have a video in this one. We didn't have a video, so we're both just holding it for the whole second half.
So I think we're going to have to knock this on the head, everyone. But first of all, we've got things to remember to talk about, actually. First of all, Alistair, he's written a book that's the right way up.
Yeah, you can hold it both ways, though.
You can buy it right now.
You can. It comes out, technically it comes out on Wednesday, but it's in some shops because you can't stop them from putting them on the shelves.
Nice.
But it comes out on Wednesday. Thursday. The 2nd. Comes out on the 2nd of February.
If you ordered it on the internet, would it be with you on a Thursday?
I don't know, James. I'm not part of a distribution network. What role do you think I have in the process of selling it?
It's that question and where'd you get your crazy ideas from? That's all you're going to need to answer.
And well, the answer to the second one is I just read things out of the chat while you're talking.
Yeah. Yes. And also, the other thing, Leicester Comedy Festival. You're performing, right?
I am. I've got a couple of new material, or I've been quite busy writing a book, so I don't know how good they're going to be, but I've got a couple of new material shows, but also of much higher quality and entertainment value.
Go on.
There's going to be a Loremen show.
There is. It's on the Saturday, the 25th.
Do you want to say that in a way that doesn't sound like a guy clearly opening a tab, going to calendar, and then scrolling down?
It is on Saturday, the 25th of February. And if you Google Loremen and Leicester Comedy Festival, that is where you'll be able to find tickets for it.
Yep, that's how purchasing things works.
Simply not.
Now, James, do you know when the tickets are distributed? Do you know how that's going to work there? Have you got any just technical information about how will they get a PDF? Will they get a QR code?
Yeah,
You don't know, do you?
they get an email.
No, you don't know. So
They'll get
that
an email about it probably.
yeah.
And yeah, it may well be live streamed. We're working on that at the moment.
We'll find out.
Yes. Yeah, hope so. But also it's lovely to see people if they can make it in.
Yeah.
If
you live in the area, come and see us.
Live in the area. Well, thank you very much to Kieran for producing.
Thank you,
on
Kieran.
this one.
Good work. And
Um,
he is real.
Yeah, totally real. 100%. Wink.
Sorry, he whispered, "No, I'm not in our ears." Sorry,
Yeah.
that's why I was laughing. Just a little gag between us and Kieran that you weren't privy to.
His mic's open. That's the thing. His mic's open, but because he doesn't exist, it never goes onto the actual live
He
stream.
does. He is real.
He's broadly real. And oh yeah, you can join the Patreon. I imagine anyone watching this live is already in the Patreon.
It's too
and
late for
it's
that.
Lovely to have
Yeah.
you.
Preaching to the choir, James.
Absolutely.
If you watch this and you aren't already subscribed to the Patreon, what kind of a rascal would do that? What kind of a despicable toad?
Oh, wowzers!
Sorry, yeah, that was a bit
went
much.
harsh. That went
No,
very
it's perfectly
harsh.
reasonable. There's a cost of living crisis. You can't be frittering away all your cash on
What sort of
folklore
armored
whimsy.
fox? You're really just flushing out your armored foxes today.
I'm sorry for poking too hard on that armored fox. I apologize.
Yeah, thanks for everybody. And I think, well, that's really it, really, isn't it? Should we say ta-ra?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Keep watching the